Hello YouTube, I'm Tallman Brad and we're back in Space Engineers and we're looking at turbines again. Now who'd have thought that turbines could be so interesting? Well, not me, that's for sure, but the last video I posted had quite a lot of interest and had a few questions which I'm hoping I'm going to answer now. First of all, Oscar says, something that you missed that I've seen in other of your videos is that you made more wind turbines horizontally on the same vertical post. Yeah, let's have a look at that. And we'll come back to why these two turbines are spinning at different speeds a little later. So Oscar, this is the Turbine Tree. I'm not sure if that's what it's officially called. I don't know who came up with the idea, but I saw it in a video a long time ago, at least something similar to this. And this is the absolute best way to get the maximum amount of output from 5 turbines in such a small space. So before we look at that, let's establish what the optimum output is at the minute. So here's our 9-block high wind turbine, which we know is the best height. The max power output at the minute is 457.1. Now if we look at the tower here, you can see there's the 9th block, so normally we would have the top single turbine where this grey block is here. But if we want to use the sideways turbines like this, you need to go up another 2 blocks because the bounding box for a turbine is 3 by 3 by 3. And in putting this extra block coming out of the sides, it means that you can space them far enough apart so that you can get 4 together, and then we can squeeze another one on the top. Now that one on the top doesn't need another block because it will fit comfortably on there. So what are the max outputs from these? 457.1, 457.1, and of course 457.1. So that's a great setup. So just remember, if you want to do them horizontally, they won't sit on the 9th block, they'll sit on the 11th block coming out horizontally. Now the turbine tree is so efficient that this setup here can produce as much power as this setup here. Another subscriber by the name of Grandad Gamer said, blast a Warhead a hole, they work great underground. And he's referring to the turbines working underground. Do they work underground? I'm going to place this Warhead here. And I'm very carefully going to set the detonation time for, that's on 10 seconds. I might give myself a little bit longer. Control and click, and I'm going to type in 20 seconds. We need to make sure the Warhead is armed. And then we'll do start countdown and run. Are you ready? Right, go, go, go. Jetpack. This is a great way of setting up a base if you're playing on a multiplayer server or you've got a lot of NPCs. Whoa, a bit shot out. Yeah, definitely dig into hillsides and a Warhead will clear out a great big, you can't even see the end of it. Wow, a great big space. Look at that. All right, so what we're going to do in here, test this out, it's very dark, is I'm going to put down 9 blocks. I'm just going to align that. I need to switch this back on. Local grid alignment, there we go. So I'm going roughly in the middle at the bottom of this large Warhead hole, 8, 9, and then put our turbine on. There we go. Give that a second to spin up and we'll check. Ooh, it might be too close to that wall. No, 457.1. What about that? Turbines have got to be outside, surely. No, they don't. They still work inside of a hole. Search again says, it's the altitude which is affecting the results. Just as atmospheric thrusters are less effective the higher you fly due to the thinner atmosphere, hence a wind turbine doesn't work on the moon. Okay, and let's properly test the effect that altitude has on turbines. So here we've got a tower. There's our 9 blocks, the optimum height. There it is, 457.1. But that's 11 blocks high. Let's go a bit higher and see when altitude starts to kick in. So there's 100 blocks and that's 457.1. Alright, let's go higher again. There we go, 500. And it's 457.1. Alright, well maybe we're not high enough. So let's go up a bit more. It's 5, 900. And there's 1,000 blocks high off the ground. What is the reading on this? It's 457.1. Well, why is that? Now this turbine here, which is way higher up than the test ones down there, but it's nowhere near as high as that one right up the top there. The power output from this one, which is 9 blocks high, is 417, so it's quite a bit lower. So if it's the atmospheric effects, why is this one lower and that one higher? Now, I think probably it should be down to the atmospheric effects, but I think the calculations in the game are based on the placement of that block on the bottom and the altitude or the height of the ground where it is placed. So up here, this ground altitude is registered as being higher, so therefore it's decreased the efficiency or the max output. I suspect if I extended this tower up 1,000 blocks, it would probably still say 417.3. Okay, now that's not all. Now in the last video I ended where we looked at this turbine here, which has the max power output of 4571, so it's the optimum placement, but it's effectively one block above the ground. If you remember, it's because I drilled a hole down and placed the first block on the bottom, then went up whatever it was. I think it was about 15 blocks for this, but it doesn't really matter. It's just as long as it's above the surface. As soon as it gets below the surface, the voxels will affect the performance of the turbine because these voxels aren't 8 blocks away from the turbine. So with that in mind, let's have a look at these two turbines. What's happening here? The turbine on the left is performing as you'd expect. It's one block off the ground, so it's going to have poor wind clearance, and the max power there is 228.6, so it's not very good, but that's sort of what you'd expect. So what's happening with this one? Why is this one 457.1? If I remove these two blocks here, let's have a look at what I've done. I dug a hole, and I placed the first block at the bottom of the hole. Then I went 9 blocks up, put a turbine on, the same as in the last video, and got the max output. But then I thought, it's because it's touching the bottom and it's not touching the sides. So then I built these blocks around the sides. So to me, this is one block high, really. But it's not performing that way. What's going on? Are turbines broken? Well, whatever it is, perhaps you could use this to your advantage when you're playing next. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please hit like and subscribe if you want to see more of this sort of thing. I've been Tallman Brad, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.